Goals with the law of attraction. Why set monthly goals? For some people, monthly goals are too stressful. It keeps them from really being able to feel good about their manifestation. I get that. For the longest time, I was the same way. There's no doubt that this may be a more advanced technique, but it's one that pays off. But why might you want to think about setting monthly goals? 1. It helps you decide on a definitive goal. First of all, it's practical and realistic. Many times when people are choosing their manifestation, they tend to waffle about what exactly they want their goal to be. You might say, well, I want $500. Well, no, maybe I need more like $750. But then there's that other thing I want. And the cycle continues. You can't decide on one goal and stick with it. A monthly goal forces you to make up your mind. This is your goal for this month. Next month, you can set a higher goal. I'm speaking mostly about financial goals here. Of course, it can work for anything, as long as you think that a month timeline is sufficient for you. So, when you set a monthly goal, you decide, I think I'd like to manifest $2,500 in income this month. That's your goal. You don't change it a million times, but stick with it to the end. Next month, you might set a goal of $3,000, or even $2,750. That's your choice. But for this month, it's $2,500. Does this have to be your only goal for the month? No, of course not. But it gets you moving towards what you want, at least, and that's the power of this technique. 2. It builds confidence in your manifesting ability. A second reason you might want to set a monthly goal is to build your confidence, as I hinted at earlier. Imagine you set that $2,500 goal. Prior to the end of the month, you achieve that goal, and maybe even surpass it. Next month, you're going to be more confident of your abilities. In the beginning, maybe $2,500 seemed like a stretch. But you did it, and you start to believe that if you can do that, then you can do something even higher. So again, maybe you do $3,000 for the next month. And if you achieve that, then you'll build even more confidence. It's a self-perpetuating cycle of greater and greater abundance, stemming from your increased confidence in your ability to use the law of attraction. This happened to me recently. Last month, I decided to set a monthly goal. I realized that I became a bit complacent anytime I felt like I had made enough money. But I wanted to go to the next level of abundance. So, I set a goal that was believable, and yet a bit of a stretch for me. I'll admit, at first I was pretty nervous about the goal. It was pressure. And because of that, throughout about 2/3 of the month, I hadn't really come close to the goal. But in the final 10 days, something shifted for me. I simply decided that I would achieve this goal. I'm not joking when I say that literally within an hour of making that decision, I started making serious progress towards that goal. By the end of the month, I had even surpassed the goal by over 15%. Now, I had increased confidence that I could do it again. This month's goal is even higher. I already notice a difference in my outlook on my financial situation. I'm far more secure in the knowledge that I can easily manifest abundance. As I said, things were already fine even before this challenge. But I want to be a lot more than just fine. The vibration of enough versus a lot more than enough is completely different. I wanted to step into this higher vibration, and setting my goal last month helped me to do so. What if you fail to achieve your goal? I know that immediately once I talk about setting a specific goal, someone will ask, what if I don't achieve it? Firstly, try your best not to even have that mentality. Failing is not an option. Decide on your path, and go for it. Point 1. But it's still a valid question. So, what if you set this great goal, but despite all your best efforts, you just don't reach it? There's an expression that, albeit a little cliché, is well-fitting: shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Tilda Norman Vincent Peale. Essentially, even if you don't reach your goal, my guess is that you're still going to do a lot better than you would have had you not set the goal. So maybe you're a bit short of the goal. So, celebrate the success you did manifest, even if it wasn't quite what you wanted it to be. It's all about focusing on the wanted aspects of the situation, not the unwanted. But, even still, what if it was such a mess that you didn't see any improvement at all, or things even got worse? This is extraordinarily unlikely, unless you have a great deal of resistance. I will guarantee you that as you set this goal, it will bring up your resistance in big ways. The bigger the goal, the bigger the resistance it'll trigger in you. That's actually good news, though. Now you know what's blocking your way better than you probably ever have before. I had lots of resistance come up as I was working towards my goal. But I knew that it was just the energy that had to be released for me to manifest my desire. So, I released it, and moved forward. I know it's not always that easy. If you find yourself running into massive resistance, you have a few choices. Reduce the goal. Chances are that if you're meeting with so much resistance, you probably set your goal too high. Try reducing it and see if that helps. If the resistance is significant no matter how big the goal, then do your best to release it. If that fails, be easy on yourself, and acknowledge even small successes. Resistance is actually good news, and is a sign that you're on the path to your manifestation. Your goal requires these 3 qualities to increase your chances of success. It must be inspiring, believable, challenging. Let's take these one at a time. Inspiring. Your goal needs to be inspiring to you. Why do you want it? What will you be able to achieve once you have it? For example, if you want to increase your monthly income by 10%, what will you do with that extra money? Maybe you want to save up for a vacation, or buy something nice for yourself. If you're not really excited about what you can do with that goal, then you're simply not going to be motivated to achieve it. For instance, if all you want to do with the extra money is to pay down debt, that might not be the most motivating. You might enjoy the future vision of being debt-free, but it is rather abstract and long-term. So, ensure that at least part of your gains are used for yourself. A feeling of excitement will help you to keep your focus on the wanted, as well. When you have something to look forward to, you'll be much more likely to think about the positive aspects, rather than the difficulty of reaching that goal. Believable. Your goal should also be believable. You don't want to try to increase your income by 50%, for instance, unless you have a really good reason for believing that this is possible for you. Yes, you can manifest anything. But it's going to be a lot more stressful to manifest something that feels big to you, rather than something that is believable to you. Also, as I said above, the bigger the goal, the more resistance it will trigger. If you're a pro at releasing resistance, then you might be able to set a bigger goal. But if it is difficult for you, then you might want to start small. The key is that with each success, what is believable is going to get bigger and bigger. Do you think that even the richest billionaires would believe $1 billion was possible from the start? No, for many of them, they had to work up to that level. So, if today what is believable is an increase of 10%, just imagine even if that grows by 10% every month. If your base monthly amount was $2,500, and you were somehow able to manifest just 10% more every month, within a year you would have increased that amount by over 250%. It's all about small steps. As the Chinese proverb has it, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So take your single step by setting a small, believable goal for this month. Then build on that secure foundation month after month. Pretty soon, you won't be able to believe where you've ended up. Challenging your goal should also be moderately challenging. While it might seem like a contradiction to the above, it really is not. A believable goal will help you to achieve it with little resistance. But a challenging goal will also help you to grow confidence in your ability. The criteria I give to my clients is that their goal should be believable, but still a bit of a stretch. If your goal is, for instance, only $100 more than usual, that might not inspire much confidence. You might put it down to coincidence. But if you set a goal that is significant to you, and yet believable, then you'll be able to see the universe move to make your manifestation possible. You'll be able to see how life changes, day by day, because of your new goal. This is especially the case if you can't really see how the universe might make it happen. I'm always fascinated by how the universe works everything out, even when I don't personally see a way. But every time, it all works out perfectly, almost magically. Last month, I increased the challenge for myself. I had the option of paying a bit extra for a certain bill. It made me nervous, because I knew if I paid it, I'd certainly need the extra amount to offset the expense. But I just intuitively felt like I needed to do it. So, trusting the universe would make it work, I went ahead and paid the extra expense. And it did work out beautifully, as I've said. So, it's okay, and even preferable, if you're a bit nervous about your goal. That means it's worthwhile. It's something that will be fun to line up with and manifest. Otherwise, wouldn't it just be boring?